Greetings, Eric Bakker. Thanks for coming back and checking out my video channel. We're going to talk about enemas and constipation. As you can imagine, I've been seeing patients for a long time, and I've had many people talk to me about enemas and colonics and this kind of business. So let's explore this topic a little bit in depth today. I'm not really a fan of any of this kind of work, and I'll explain to you why in a minute. I do believe in colonic irrigation when it's done by a proper colon therapist using the right equipment and the right procedures. I think there are definitely a time and place for this procedure. And for many people, this can be an effective solution, for a chronic health problem. But home enemas, I'm not a big fan of, any more than I'm not really a big fan of people making up lots of home Kefir and lots of home Kombucha and lots of home wine, home alcohol, whatever you call it, home haircuts, home mortgages, just home stuff. It's just not really for me. But home enemas, I find I'm quite actually amazed at seeing some of the results with people who've had enemas, who regularly perform enemas on a regular basis at home. And then having a look at a stool test with these patients, it's quite shocking actually to see how low their level of bifidobacteria are. So many people have this fallacious belief that if they keep doing enemas every day, and some patients I see do enemas once or twice per day, every day of the year. I mean, how insane is that? That's just ridiculous. If you are contemplating an enema, make sure that you really understand how to perform one properly. Go and see a natural therapist who can explain the procedure. And then try it at home. For sure, it may be something you may want to try here or there, but you certainly don't want to get into the pattern of every single day doing an enema or twice a week doing an enema on an ongoing basis. It just doesn't make sense. I've yet to find a surgeon or a physician tell me that they opened up a patient and they found 10 or 20 pounds of fecal matter clogging up their bowels. You read all these stupid things, these colon cleansing products. The human digestive tract contains 10 pounds of fecal matter, all clogging it all up. You'll die in your own toxins and stuff like this. Well, I've never seen any scientific evidence of this ever occurring with people. Never. And I've certainly seen plenty of scans and x-rays of people, even people that are compacted, but it doesn't show 20 pounds of fecal matter inside these people. So just be careful about all these stupid claims that you read and all these photos of, 19 or 20 foot long strands of bowel motions coming out of people and, like something out of Godzilla almost, So there's a lot of crap on the internet, a lot of crap regarding colonics and enemas. When done efficiently and properly, an enema does have its place here or there. I'm not disputing that, but it's the regular daily use I'm certainly against. I don't think they really form a good role when it comes to constipation. There are many issues surrounding constipation that need to be dealt with, not by way of enema. Any more than if you've got a money problem, you don't keep going to the loan sharks or get credit cards. It's a dumb idea. You get rid of these no-hopers. You've got to make money on your own steam by using your own intelligence. And it's the same with constipation. You've got to get that bowel working with your own intelligence under its own steam. It doesn't need enemas. Enemas don't really cure constipation. What cures constipation? In where I'm sitting and from the patients I've seen, what cures constipation is a change in lifestyle, a change in outlook, a change of diet. Something's got to change. You can't keep expecting to have the same problem and ameliorate it with a few pills or an extra little cup of water or something like that. It ain't going to happen. The only way you're going to really cure chronic constipation is to make, did you hear the word chronic? Is to make a chronic change to your lifestyle, a huge change. And every time I see a case of serious constipation, a person who's had this for 20 or 30 or 40 years of constipation, there's usually been a crappy habit underpinning this constipation. There are certain things the person's doing that undermine their health, that don't allow them to have a proper bowel motion. Now that can be an emotional pattern, it can be a physical pattern, it can be a lifestyle pattern, but there'll be some pattern there that's very, very poor in terms of, it's not conducive towards building good health for that person. And it ends up in a chronic constipation problem. And then the person may think, well, I'll try a series of enemas, that'll fix it up. But meanwhile, they're having 6 cups of coffee, they're skipping breakfast, they're having donuts for lunch, and then they're going to have enemas at night. For God's sakes, it doesn't work. Okay, so don't think you can cure constipation with enemas if you're trying to prop up a poor habit. And in many cases, this is what I see. The poor habit may also be serious emotional stress, dysfunctional relationship with a partner, dysfunctional job, something dysfunctional. And then the bowel becomes dysfunctional. And you're not going to fix it up. We're pumping a bit of water into the rectum. It's not going to happen. All right? So if you are going to get serious about enemas and you do want to use them, make sure you look at some of my other videos, and try other things out. All the other suggestions I made regarding constipation. Are you walking a good 30 to 40 minutes a day? Are you drinking sufficient water? Have you stopped coffee, tea, and alcohol? Because if you haven't stopped those, then, you'd be crazy to use an enema. Are you doing things in your power, that really help the bowel? Are you eating the right kind of foods that I've spoken about in some of the videos? These are the points I'd really like you to bear in mind. These are very important points, and when you do everything right, you shouldn't need to use enemas. Okay? How many credit cards have you got in your wallet right now? If I went to your house, knocked on your door, and I said, how many credit cards have you got? Are they maxed out? You get my point? Most people don't need crutches or things to hold on to like this. And if they do have a credit card, they're not going to use it a lot and they pay it off in time. It's the same with an enema. You're not going to use them all the time. So don't become reliant on laxatives or enemas. It's seriously bad if you have to think that you need an enema every single day to go to the toilet. Every single case I've seen like that where we performed a stool test on have got very poor levels of beneficial bacteria. Very poor levels. You think about why. You're flushing a lot of stuff out. Think about that. So I hope that gives you an idea on my thoughts on enemas. I'm not a big fan of them. Think about the colonics. Thank you.